gamers, what's up? Muzz here at L1 Games, and today I wanted to talk a little bit about my experience so far with the Xbox Series X and the PlayStation 5. I've had each for about a month now, and I've had a lot of positive and negative experiences that I want to share. Of course, these are just my experiences. I understand that some of the things I'm experiencing are probably not happening for a lot of other people, but I got to be honest about what's happening right here for me in my own little world, and that matters. So I'm probably going to offend some people, some fanboys, but it is what it is. I'm going to start off with the games that I've played so far. The PS5 has been phenomenal. I played the remastered Spider-Man and I played Miles Morales. I played them both through for the first time. I hadn't played Spider-Man on the PS4, and it was really a fantastic experience. Although I felt like Miles Morales wasn't separated enough from the original Spider-Man game. It felt like I was just playing more of the same with just a few added abilities, and I didn't like the character design of Miles Morales in the spider suit. It looked a lot like the cartoon, right? Where he had really thin legs and he looked super scrawny. And I get it, it's Spider-Man, but I don't know. It with this ultra realistic background, it looked a little out of place, I'm gonna say. I shouldn't say I didn't like the design. It just didn't seem to fit together. Like one didn't overlay upon the other successfully, I thought. Although, that said, it was a phenomenal game and I really enjoyed it. The experience I'm having so far in terms of just the presentation of the games on the PS5 are really good. And that said, I have had some problems on the PS5 playing games. The presentation may be good, but the execution on my end, not so great. I'm getting a lot of issues with my PS5 shutting down, and I don't understand what's happening. If you watch my opening video, I had a whole thing just getting it to like display audio or display video on my TV, and that was kind of a pain. Out of the box, it wasn't very user-friendly, but I got it all figured out. I'm up, I'm running 4K, the whole deal, and I'm enjoying it, but I've had a few issues with my system shutting down and not booting back up properly, and I actually have some video footage that I took while it was happening, so let's take a peek at that. Alright, my PS5 keeps shutting off now. It's obviously not overheating because I keep it well ventilated. Several times now, when I turn it on, it just goes to a weird screen. It booted up last time, but it just, as soon as I put in a disc or try to start a game or anything, it just went to no signal. Oh, great. It gave me nothing but a black screen the first time. It locked up in the middle of Miles Morales, and then I had to shut it down. Let's see what it does now. This is all really weird. It's been probably 30 minutes since it shut down, and I haven't been able to get it to boot up and play a game. So now it's going to make me repair the hard drive. I should just unplug it at this point. So it's going to make me repair it. Last time this took forever. So we're at 97 now. Like I said, I was playing Miles Morales, but it's not downloaded. I have the disc. So I don't think it's an issue with my hard drive, though. If this happens again, I'll just have to I'll disconnect it before I boot up the system again, so I don't have to deal with this repair thing over and over. See that in the top right corner? That's if I hold down the PlayStation button, I get that. Oh, look at that, added to downloads. Got some kind of functionality there. And nothing. I mean, it gives me a screen for that. It's down. Let's boot it up without the hard drive or the disk. Let's see what happens. So that's my hard drive. Morales. A problem occurred. This is like the third time. It did this for me before too. Okay, so apparently this game works. We can go back to the main screen. Now let's put Miles Morales back in and hopefully we're back to normal. I have no idea what happened or why. Okay, this is further than I got last time. Okay, so the game is playing again. But this has been like 30 minutes of just craziness. Rebooting the system several times. I don't know if it had something to do with my hard drive. The only difference is I disconnected my hard drive this time. So I shouldn't have problems like this early with my new console. So that was a little bit strange and it was really negative. It had a bad impact on my overall experience with the PS5. On top of that, I was having a controller connectivity issue. It seems to have only happened while I was playing Miles Morales. So far it hasn't happened since, but I don't understand what it is or why it's doing it, but I also took a little bit of footage of that happening. This is the new thing my PS5 is doing. That light is on in the center, but nothing's happening on the screen. So no matter what I do, even if I hit the PlayStation button, nothing happens. I just have to reboot the system. This is really frustrating. So I've had this going on. This has happened a few times, and I've had the whole thing with the system shutting down. That's happened probably 8 times now. So yeah, pretty frustrating. So this time it's doing something new. I can't even turn my system off. I hit the power button, hold it down, nothing happens. So I'm going to do a hard reset and just hold the power down and see if it'll allow me to turn the system off that way. Holding it down. There it goes. Now we'll just try turning it back on. That's my charging cable, by the way. I plugged my controller in to see if it would allow me to connect it that way. So that's, the system's on. There we go. I shouldn't have to put up with this, multiple times. I'm getting to the point where I think I'm ready to call Sony. My PS5 wasn't turned off properly. It wouldn't let me turn it off. Like, it made me feel like it's my fault. Okay, now I've got control again. So that's good, but what a pain. This isn't the first time, so if this was some unique problem, like it happened once, okay, fine, but this is something that's been reoccurring. Not very cool. So those two things have really hurt my experience. On top of that, I did notice that my PS5 sounds like a jet taking off every time I start it up. It just, if there's a disc in there, it kind of spins the disc for a minute, and it's really loud. The fan kicks on, and it's only for about, we'll say 30 seconds, 40 seconds. It feels like an eternity every time I turn it on, though, because it's just crazy. And my system stands vertical on top of an entertainment stand. It is not enclosed. It is in a perfectly well-ventilated area, but it just doesn't seem to be starting up as quietly as I would like it to, or as I would expect it to. So, as you can see from that video, I mean, it is totally well ventilated. It shouldn't be making a lot of noise, and it is. As far as the console itself goes, the way it looks, its design and everything, it's okay. I mean, I'm gonna say a pretty console, but I don't like the design of the PS5, and I've been very vocal about that since the beginning, so this shouldn't be a surprise to anyone who knows me. I don't like the flared sides. I don't like the white. I'm glad it all comes off. Maybe down the road I will customize it, or maybe someone will release new shells we can clip onto them, but I didn't like it. From the announcement when we saw what it looked like, to the box that it came in and the way it was presented as I opened it. Go watch my unboxing video, you'll see what I mean. I was super underwhelmed by all of it. The thing is a beast. It's gigantic. It's the biggest game console, I think, maybe in the history of gaming. It's up there for sure. Maybe the 5200 was bigger. I don't know. I got to stand one up beside it and see. But it's just enormous. And, you know, that's not for me. It's not what I want. So, I mean, I'm not going to, like, give it like a 1 out of 10 or anything. But overall, just in terms of playing games, my PS5 experience has been good. But there are a lot of other little factors that really detract from it, and I'm trying to come to terms with them. So as I play it more and as I play more games, and so far the games have been stellar. You know, I'm not saying otherwise. I've had a really good experience, but just, I don't know. I'm still reserving judgment in hopes that things get better. I have, though, thought about calling Sony and seeing if there's something I can do. Maybe I have to ship it in. I don't feel like what's happening is right. And maybe it had to do with the games I was playing. I'm going to try a couple other games. I just started Demon's Souls, and I'm playing through that, and I haven't had issues as of yet. So maybe it just had to do with what I was playing. I don't know. It shouldn't be doing that, and I'm not happy with that experience. So the PS5, for me so far, I expect great games. I expect more of what I loved about the PS4, indie titles and limited run stuff and all that cool content. So we'll see what happens. And now let's move on to the Series X. We'll start off like I did with the PS5 with just my gameplay experience. And so far it's been really good. I got Assassin's Creed Valhalla on it. It's beautiful. It controls well. It was an established franchise, so we would expect all that from it. I took my external hard drive off of my Xbox One. I plugged it right into my Series X, and it read everything, so there was no problem getting all my games over. Of course, the account transferred over to it just like you did on the PS5, and all my content was there and everything. So gaming wise, everything's been really good. As far as technical issues like I had with the PS5, well, I do have some video of my experience with the Series X. What? And that's my experience with the Series X. It's been phenomenal, outstanding, no problems whatsoever, no controller connectivity issues. It hasn't booted me one single time. It hasn't shut down. I haven't had a problem with my TV receiving the video. Just everything works flawlessly, and I really like that. And it goes back to from the unboxing, where I was just so impressed with the presentation. If you didn't see it, go back and watch my unboxing. It just has been a great experience overall. And I like the design of the console itself, whereas the PS5 is big and curved, and you know, they obviously had a vision for it. People have made fun of the Series X design. It's just a box. It looks like two GameCubes sitting beside each other, even more simplistic. And I love that. I love that they took into consideration the simple form that I can just wipe off if I need to dust it. It doesn't like draw my attention from the other side of the room. My attention's on the TV. My attention's on the games. That being said, there isn't a lot, is there? And that's what I'm waiting for. for the Series X. To really propel my experience with it, I need more games that are just Series X and are going to really showcase the hardware and show me what it's all about. There isn't a Miles Morales experience on the Series X, and that's where it really kind of takes a tick down and doesn't live up to what the PS5 can do. Again, I'm not going to rate these consoles on a 1 to 10. I'm not going to say one is better than the other because obviously each has pros and cons. I'm glad to have both and my Switch, and I'm glad to experience what every console has to offer, because I'm not going to deny myself that because I'm some, fanboy, or I'm feeling beholden to some corporate entity over what games they release or how powerful their console is, because a lot of that doesn't matter to me. What matters to me is my personal experience as I'm gaming. So, and everyone's is different, right? So I don't expect everyone to feel like I feel, and I know maybe my PS5 is a little problematic, whereas other people's aren't. I don't know. If I didn't have the problems I'm having, I would like it a whole lot more. I'm going to say that. But I'm holding out, as long as that system is up and running and reliable for the next few years until a Slim comes out, because I will buy a Slim as soon as it hits shelves so I can get rid of this gigantic system. But I don't want to get rid of the system before I have something to play, right? So I'm just going to have to live with it, So the lesser of two evils is actually owning the system, even though it's big and bulky and weird. But that's how much I do like this system. I definitely wouldn't get rid of it. I think it has massive potential. I think what it's done so far is really good. And the same can be said for the Series X. My experience with it has been a lot better than my PS5 experience, but my gaming experience hasn't been quite as strong. So there's a long way to go. I will update on this down the road and we'll talk more about it. Maybe I'll do a live stream and get your guys' input. But for now, I'm going to get out of here so I can open up the store and get to work. But that's it for now. Thanks for watching. I really do appreciate it. Please do subscribe if you haven't already. Check me out on Twitter at L1Games and on Instagram at L1Muzz. And also, if you have any questions or comments or suggestions for future videos, leave them in the comments below and I'll try to get to that. I always try to respond. So that's it for now, and I'll catch you all later. Thanks for watching.